What's up YouTube, Capital G here, Duel commentary. Still one of the 4 videos that I had with the messed up audio, so it's gonna look a little weird, but you guys will forgive me. Okay, so we got Nye 1866, has to be one of the highest ratings on Dueling Network versus Gun6 1766. Very legitimate. Anytime you're above 1700, you're pretty much like part of the elite on Dueling Network. So Nye is playing I guess Yang Zings. How you get an 1800 plus with Yang Zings, I have no effing clue. Looks like his hand isn't so good because when have you ever seen Yang Zing just like play no back row and just be content with that? Like, it doesn't happen. But Gun6 is playing some sort of Destiny hero build with mass heroes mixed in. And he has Star Seraphs apparently, because that's a thing. This dude has the kitchen sink, and he opened really broken too. Obviously, his Shadow Mist died. He got a Diamond Dude. He pitched a Diamond Dude for Destiny draw to draw a bunch of cards, and now he has the Sovereignty for Scepter, the Sovereignty and Scepter play, where you just get the spam the field and you get the draw cards by doing it. It is one of the most lovely things that I've seen in a long time. Now the I'm not gonna lie, the Suani on field could be a little bit of an issue because it kind of makes Deltaros not that great, but I'm still thinking Ouroboros would be really nice in this situation. You go for an Ouroboros, you hit your opponent's hand. It'd be nice if they had something on the field for you to pop, like a random back row, something like that. Even if it was skill drain, you still get to pop it. No, wait, I think it is actually, I think it becomes the Exceeds effect. I'm not 100% sure about that. If when you Exceed with when you Exceed using Scepter, if skill drain will stop the Exceed from popping the monster, because I feel like Scepter transfers his effect to the Exceed, so I feel like it might actually be negated, but you know what, it's really not applicable right now. So he is going to Exceed. He's going to go for a rank 4 that requires 3 monsters, because with Sovereignty, like, you pretty much have to. And he does go for the Ouroboros. In fact, he pops his own Regeki. At first, I was like, I don't know about that. But then it's like, well, he's playing against Yang Zings. How good is Regeki against the deck anyway? All right, so he ends up using Ouroboros' effect. He hits a, what's it called? He ends up hitting Chiwin, and I was like, that wasn't a good hit. Chiwin wants to be in the graveyard anyway, but then he does he follows that up with a Soul Charge, and then of course Soul Charge will allow him to use Shadow Mist's effect, which he opts not to use, strangely enough. But he has the mass change in hand, so I guess he wants to use Shadow Mist's second effect. So he goes into Danklaw, and then I was like, wait, now the Regeki could actually be really nice, because you could Regeki, Suani would get banished, and I looked at his field and I'm like, man, I don't see how he's going to lose now. Darklaw is pretty much the antithesis of the Yang Zings. Like, they can't do anything while Darklaw is on the field. Activates an Allure of Darkness, gets rid of the Shadow Mist, okay. But he still doesn't quite have a way of getting rid of this Yang Zing on the field, because he can't attack, obviously. He played Soul Charge. But his field is looking ridiculously OP. His field's looking great. I guess he could cast it. That's an option. Nope. Instead, he goes into Telemethos and sets a bunch of cards. In the end phase, I believe he's going to equip a diamond on there. Yep, he equips a diamond, and he decides he just wants to go ahead and he wants to tag out into another Exceed. All right, he goes for Durandal, who looks really good in this situation, because if his opponent does pretty much anything, he can just be like, all right, well, I'm just going to go ahead and make sure that you can hit one of my back row instead of playing your Regeki or something like that. And the combo of, I never actually see this happen that often, but the combo of Durandal plus Darklaw is actually kind of OP. You just don't ever see it because, like, those two decks don't really work in unison, but apparently since Telemethos is a thing, they actually do work in unison. So Nye is going to have to go for, I mean, man, and in this type of situation, you need maybe an Exiton play. He activates Chicken Game, and I'm not loving that, because yeah, you get the draw card for 1,000, but then Darklaw is going to get paid. Darklaw is just going to be like, all right, dog, well, you got to pay the toll if you want to draw them cards, right? Now, Darklaw is obviously only once per turn, and it looks like he lost his most important card, so he just ends up scooping it up. Quite frankly, I'm not sure that there was any one card that could actually save him, because even if Nye would have hit Regeki and he would have drawn it and it would have not gotten hit by Darklaw, like, would it have mattered? He would have played the Regeki, and then, like, Durandal just would have been like, nope, I'm just going to make sure that blows up one of my random back row that I don't need, probably a Mirror Force or an evac device, something that's not that important, and then you just basically win, you know? As long as you have, like, one other defensive card, I just don't see Gun6 losing that match. So, yeah, you see these ratings. And then you see the corresponding decks, and it like, I almost get a does not compute type of, like, I get a does not compute moment, because I'm like, man, Naya has to be, with this type of rating, I mean, this is probably like top 5 on Dueling Network. This dude is like maybe 4 games away from being 1900. You know what I mean? I think that only like a handful of people have ever even gotten over 2000 in like the history of Dueling Network's existence. So I think I've only seen one person over 2000. That was just one time, and I've been on DN for a while. Looks like Nine wants to go first. Yeah, this is interesting. You're seeing Yang Zing's this high up as far as rating, and then on the other side, you're seeing Gunsick. This dude's almost 1800, and I mean, he's playing freaking Mass Destiny, Star Seraph Heroes. I mean, I guess we can call that. So it looks like Nine's gonna open up with another chicken game. And I didn't recognize this card. It's called Magical Abductor. And each time a spell card is activated, you get to place a spell counter on it, right? Here's the kicker. It's kind of like Royal Magical Library, but a little different. After it has 3 counters, you can remove all 3 and you search another pendulum card. And it's any pendulum, well, it's pendulum monster. So yeah, it's kind of an interesting card. Activates Chicken Game again. Then he activates Archfiend Eccentric. And I was like, wait a minute, is this Yang Zing? Like, what the freak is this? Because I couldn't quite understand what he was doing. He got himself, man, I missed the name, but it's the pendulum one. You guys know it. And this is the one where when you pendulum summon it, you get to search a Zefra spell or trap. He gets Divine Strike, which is it's pretty cool. All right. And the combos are not stopping. He normal summons Chi-Wen. I don't know why he didn't pendulum summon that. I don't think it really mattered. And he goes for Ancient Fairy Dragon. He gets his 1,000 life points back, and it's like, man, he could just activate another chicken game, but instead he activates Oracle, or he searches out Oracle the Zefra. Obviously, Ancient Fairy Dragon lets you blow up a field spell and search another one. And as soon as you activate Oracle of Zefra, you get to get yourself a Zefra card. So he gets this Tellarknight Zefra. At this point, I was lost. I was like, yo, this is awesome. Like, I have no idea what he's doing. I'm going to assume he set the counter trap because it's 100% live right now. Mystical Space Typhoon would pretty much take it out, or I guess Galaxy Cyclone, Night Beam, like those are, or Night Shot, whatever. Those would be the only things that really would like force the activation. So he does hit the MST. There goes the Zephyr Strike is gone. But you know what's good? He could easily just pendulum back his Yang Zing and just search again. And Gunsick ends up scooping. He activated a Blind Allure there, which is like never a good thing. So he ends up scooping it up. And the funny thing about this duel is I think both players actually want to go first. How often do you ever see that? I was checking the chat here to see what people were saying, because like you have 1866 rating, 1866, and this dude is playing Zefra Yang Zing, and this guy is 1766, and he's playing, you know, Masked Heroes mixed in with Destiny Heroes mixed in with Star Seraphs. So I don't really see this. And I was kind of expecting to see a BLS at some point, because if Gunsick is just playing the minimal engine of Star Seraphs, which is 6 cards, like that's more than enough for a BLS, especially if we've already seen him go into Telemethos or Telemias, and we've seen him go into, what's it called? We saw him dang, I'm brain farting. Artifact Durandal, that's another light. So even if he doesn't, like, he can use his extra deck as like he can use his extra deck for more light targets if he doesn't want to remove them. Now Gunsick went first, and I felt like I didn't feel very confident in him, considering he didn't put any big monster on the field. You know, we've seen Durandal, we've seen Darklaw, like he didn't do any of that stuff. So no Ouroboros. I was like, man, you must have like seriously bricked. And then to make things even worse, he gets MST'd. So not only are you down a card, but then your 1 card on field is just not even a factor. And honestly, I'm not even sure how good breakthrough skill is against Yang Zing in general, because if they go just beatdown mode with Suanis and stuff, like it's not even that good against the deck. Everything activates in the graveyard. I mean, yeah, they have some on-field effects with like the synchros and whatnot, and obviously the pendulum ones have effects, but just in general, it's not like super useful, I would say anyways. So now he's going to open up with Oracle the Zefra, okay, which gets him any Zefra monster that he wants. And at first I was thinking, he'll probably get a pendulum card, but you know, you never know. I think it's any Zefra monster. I may have said any Zefra card. Okay, it's Zafranai, Secret of the Yang Zing. Gotcha. Okay, so that's the card, and it's not a world beater, 0 attack. It can sit on the field for a very long time. 2600 is no joke, and the good thing is just when you pendulum summon it, you get to, it basically just lets you go plus, like, and you can get counter traps. I mean, there's not a lot of cards that I can think of outside of like Inferno the Archfiend. I can just search counter traps straight from the deck. All right, so it looks like he's going to complete his full scale with nope, he decides to go with the Zefra Sateronite and Treasure of the Yang Zing. Okay, so he does end up Pendulum Summoning Secret, and that's going to get him a free +1. But he's not done yet. Looks like he wants to go ahead and he goes into Void Ogre Dragon. Oh my goodness, the lockdown is so real. He goes into Void Ogre Dragon, and at first I was like, what is he doing? And I totally forgot that Oracle of Zefra actually has an effect. I was like, wait, why is he looking in his deck? And you commonly forget, and that's why I clicked it. I was like, oh yeah, this card has an effect. When you do these appropriate summons, you get things because Zefra have all these different crazy monsters. And when you synchro summon, you get to take a monster and put it on top of your deck. Now, at this point, we already know Gunsick is taking 3,000. The problem is his deck is really, really combo oriented. He's played, he plays Hero Lives and Destiny Draw and all of that. And all Knight has to do is just empty out his hand and he gets a free negate. So you see him set a card. Obviously, he has to empty out his hand. That could be a chicken game, which it wouldn't be very good to play chicken game and draw a card. There'd be like no point. So he sets it, and it probably is chicken game. You don't activate it because you don't want your opponent to use chicken game's effect. So he ends up setting it. That I would call 99% chance that that's chicken game. So right now he kind of has like 2 Solemn Judgments. Activates Allure of Darkness. I would just negate it. If I'm not, even though it's a blind Allure of Darkness, which could be just a -1, I would just go ahead and negate it because there's no reason. Like, just go ahead and negate it with Void Ogre Dragon, and then if he tries to play a Regeki or a Dark Hole, then you just negate that with the Zephyr Strike, and then you pretty much just like you pretty much win at that point. He has to have like 2. He'd have to have like Dark Hole plus Regeki, and even if he did have that, the monster isn't even the biggest problem here. He can still just pendulum summon. He can still just pendulum summon Secret back and just constantly plus. Now he is gonna activate Breakthrough Skill. I actually forgot about that. Dummy. I can't believe I forgot about the Breakthrough Skill. It's the only card in the graveyard. I totally forgot about it. So he ends up resolving the Allure of Darkness. Guess he should have used Divine Wrath or the Divine Pendulum. Whatever. It's fine. I can't believe I forgot about Breakthrough Skill in the graveyard. It's the only card in there I forgot about it. So he ends up setting 5 cards. Now you could activate something now. The fact that Knight has a card in his hand, that's the way that you work around Void Ogre Dragon. Is you basically do whatever you want to use, as long as it's like a spell speed 2 or higher, you use it during your opponent's draw phase. Like the people used to do, really good players used to do that against Infernity. Now the good thing is he ends up cracking the scale, so that means that there will be no secret summon this turn. He won't be able to go off. And okay, summons Chi-Win. Fair enough. Oh, and then he activates an Oracle of Zefra. Mind freaked. Oh my goodness. Oh man. You know what's funny? I would have bet everything that I owned that was a chicken game set. So obviously he scoops it up because Oracle of Zefra, he could simply replace the monster that he just lost. He would have been able to pendulum summon again, go into an Ancient Fairy Dragon or like another, level 7 synchro, and pretty much just GG from there. So thank you guys for watching as always.